GMA friends, wow, do we have a treat today. I am joining you live from my basement. My kitchen is actually being used by my husband and it is a little chaotic. My son is doing his lesson. So, why not make it a perfect time to talk to one of my favorite actors out there, Sam Heughan. He is, you know him from Outlander. He's gonna join us and do a little segment here with us. Sam, Amy Fraser on the hit Starz series Outlander has a new show out. It is called Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham, and there he is.
Ginger.
How are you?
I'm very well. I like your basement.
Thank you.
It's well set up. I welcome to my my temporary kitchen as well. I've created this in my living room.
Yeah, I wondered if we were going to actually get in your kitchen, or you were going to, because this is not something with a heavy lift as far as cooking goes. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Are you much of a cook?
Yeah, I noticed that you gave Graham the cooking challenge, and I got to do basically the drinking and construction side. But I'm really happy. But to be honest, no, I do. I love cooking, and certainly during this time during lockdown, it's actually been something I really enjoyed doing.
Oh, so you have gotten into it. Favorite dish you've made during this time?
Uh-oh, now you put me on the spot. I think it's kind of well known that I did a pineapple upside down cake, but it didn't
it like that?
No, not that one at all. That's that's not a pineapple that's upside down. Yeah, but to be honest, that was for our NPC gala last week, and it was a really good time.
And so it's for people who are not familiar, because I was going to get into it, and now we're seeing the picture from the gala. The NPC, My Peak. What are peakers? Tell us about that.
What are peakers, Ginger? That's a good question. Yeah, they are a fantastic community that we have across the world in 82 different countries. We have over 12,000 members, and they are the most generous, supportive, and incredible group of people. They have all subscribed to My Peak Challenge, which is basically an online workout series. And part of that is that we help chosen causes, and 50% of all our profits goes to charity. And this year, we've raised over $5 million for charity. Our amazing peakers have done that. So that was our little celebration.
Yeah, sorry, I'm helping my son at the same time with his schoolwork. So I'm listening, but I've done some, and I think My Peak Challenge was already, prior to all of this happening around the world in a global pandemic, a great way for a community to get together in a safe way, but now even more so.
Yeah, and we created a 30-day program for people during the social distancing. It was a social distance challenge that, anyone can do, whether you're a peaker or not. I think my challenge would probably be to help your son with his schoolwork. I think that would be a good start.
Can I tell you, it is the most nerve-wracking part of my day, by far. It is the part where I'm like, what glue stick did I forget? What do I do next? How do I help you to make this work? So cooking with Sam Heughan is like, oh yeah, that's just makes sense to do it at the same time.
Prepare to be challenged, because I've got a few ideas.
So before we get to that, though, announced today on Good Morning America, a road trip with Sam and Graham. It's called Men in Kilts. It's going to be on Starz and the Starz app soon. And so that's a picture. I'm covering Graham. Oh no, I'll pretend to be him. Like, why'd you get me into this situation?
You'd have to do a sort of angry face, maybe, and have a beard, a big beard, big angry beard.
Yeah. But these are the types of images we have now been privy to. So tell everybody, well, before we get to cooking, you are going everywhere around Scotland, right? That's the purpose of the show?
We are. Somehow I managed to convince him to come on a trip with me. And it really is. It's a really fun, lighthearted adventure around Scotland. We're really, dipping into Scotland as the country that we obviously know through working on Outlander, but actually, learning more about the food, the drink, the people, the stories. Obviously, I try to put him in as many difficult situations as possible and watch how he copes with being thrown in the water in a kayak or, off a mountain.
He said it could never be easy. I said, well, what kind of vehicle were you in? He's like, well, that's the thing. We were on a bike made for two, or we were in some sort of, motorcycle situation or a kayak. What would you say? Because you knew Graham well. I mean, you guys have known each other for a long time from shooting. What did you learn about him on this road trip?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, I think our friendship really has developed a lot. He's got a great sense of humor, and he is extremely grumpy. So really, to be honest, the idea of making the show, I was just about me trying to put him in difficult situations, and it's great fun. It's great fun. He's always good natured, but it's so fun to see him shout and get angry at various forms of abseiling and jumping out of airplanes and things. Not that we actually did that, but
sure.
I'm still trying.
That's next season, right?
Yes.
That's going to be the next one. So let's get to cooking because we can talk more while we do this. So we are making a dish today. I had no idea. You said you didn't want to suggest one. So I started thinking, what could we make with whiskey? Because you have Sassenach whiskey. And I thought, even though I drank all mine, so I don't have a bottle of that with me.
You drank it? Well, I'll have to send you another one.
Fast.
Good. That's what happens during lockdown, right?
Yeah, I shared it with friends, of course. Well, but by friends, I mean me one night and then me the next night. No kidding. But I thought that would be appropriate. And then I started thinking there's got to be a dessert. And so truly, my friend Samantha, who's my producer, and I just started Googling, Scottish desserts. And this came up, but I don't know how to say it. So how do you say?
Well, that's a good question. It's called cranachan. Cranachan, yes. It is honestly I was delighted and surprised at the same time that you chose this, because it is honestly a really popular dish. As popular as, haggis is, synonymous with Scotland. I think cranachan is one of them as well, but it is a fantastic celebration of Scottish summer fruits. And people don't really know this, but we have some amazing summer fruits, and the season is just about to start. Strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, gooseberries. And as a child, I used to go pick them. There's all these different farms you can go and pick, and they're delicious. I've already started eating them anyway.
So did I. That's what I've had for breakfast so far. So I'm putting up a couple of things, the ingredients, but if anybody wants the recipe, I'm going to just say it's Christina's Cucina. That's where I got it. That's her web, and I'll put that in the comments eventually here. Yeah, thank you, Christina. Totally stole that. So I also have we both did this last night. We were messaging and you said, okay, I thought, I was incredibly surprised. You're such a good student. You had already started soaking your oats.
Well, I'd already started drinking, but yes, soaking my oats, as you want to say. Here
it's not sowing, it's soaking.
We had to obviously brown them and roast them off, and honestly, the smell is a bit like popcorn. It's delicious. And then you soak it in a good bit of whiskey, and overnight it smells amazing.
My children, when I was toasting the oats, they came downstairs and they were like, "What is that? What are you making?" So it already started to work, and now it's kind of like an overnight oat. It looks like.
Yes,
we could consider this breakfast really for me because whiskey filled oats.
It's the Scottish way of having a healthy breakfast is basically whiskey and oats. Actually, I wanted to point out as well. Obviously, we're using pinhead oatmeal, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's very fine grain. But actually, I've made this dessert before, and I use sometimes, of course, the big jumbo oats, which haven't been milled, or the regular ones as well. But I thought, it's cool to experiment, and the pinheads obviously work really well too.
Good. Well, thank you for noting, because I did that too, and I had never purchased that kind where it looked like the little pinhead. I always have the rounder oat, and so that's what's in there.
Yes.
Certainly doesn't soak up the same. So when we go to the next step, I want to tell people too, there is a little question mark on the bottom left, and this is a cool new feature of Instagram Live. We're able to actually share their comments. So if you guys go there and put questions or comments that I find appropriate, because I get to choose, then I'll be able to put those up while we talk with Sam. So Sam, next step is we've got to toast more oats. So I'm going to go upstairs with you. My husband happens to be cooking on his show at the same time, so this is going to be interesting.
That is so unfair. I should have Graham here cooking for me, and actually I should do that next time. We'll do that when this whole situation is over. That's great. Let's go see your husband. Well,
yeah, Graham and I are cooking later today, but there's my husband, and we actually have a social distance coach out the window.
Peeping Steve. How you doing, everybody?
Oh, Steve, hi. That's good.
That's Peeping Steve. We're socially distancing, so he's teaching me how to cook from a distance. We want him outside.
That's how we do it here in our house.
I love it. You have someone hanging out your window. Brilliant.
We do. Okay, so next step, though, for you and I is to toast more oats, right?
Yes. Well, there they are.
Yeah. Well, you did it already, I'm assuming.
Can I say, I have. I've already toasted them, and I let them cool down first. But they go really quick, don't they, Ginger? They after...
Yeah.
I mean, also you got to be really quick because they can start to burn, but you kind of hear them pop as well when they're when they're getting close, the smaller ones.
You do, and so they're in the pan now.
Oh.
Sam, while I'm doing this, can I ask you,
Yes.
when you think about the kitchen, we were talking about smells. What's like your favorite memory of growing up in the kitchen?
That's a really good question. And actually, talking about earlier about picking fruit, my family, we used to go and pick these pick your own places. And I remember very much, you'd come back with punnets and punnets of raspberries and strawberries and gooseberries. But as a child, you'd eaten so many of them during the day that by the time you got home, you just didn't want to see another strawberry again. But they were great. I remember that. And, the blackberries here are incredible. We have a lot of wild berries as well. So sometimes we used to go for a walk, and my mom would help.
Very healthy, very good for you. Yeah,
so I'm going to take the toasted, because those actually didn't go very fast. See, now he's talking at the same toast. We got to get out of here. We gotta go.
He's using blueberries.
Okay.
He's using blueberries.
Yes.
I guess you could use those as well.
He is. So tell me too, did your mom cook? Did your grandma? Did your dad? Who was the main cook growing up?
My mom was a great cook, and we were very lucky. I think very, very fortunate. We grew up in the countryside, and she was really into sort of organic foods and giving us the best that she could. And actually, I grew up as a vegetarian, which might come into play in a minute when we get to the second stage. But I did, and I didn't really start eating meat till I went to America, first of all. But yeah, I love home cooking. I think it's just bread is possibly one of the best things. What's your favorite?
Lately, like what I've been making a lot of, and actually we do a lot of vegetarian dishes here. I do something super simple, like a stir fry for the kids often, or like I do a lot of the like leftover fried rice out of everything that we have left. But we just started our own little garden. I grew up on a farm, so sounds like I grew up very similarly to you. And when I left and I went to college, it was like I didn't know how to function because I had to get food from the grocery store and I had to learn. So I learned a lot about cooking that way, in a different way with the foods made there. So
I guess your priorities change as well when you have children and you're busy. You're so busy. I don't even know how you have time. So then and I'm kind of the same. When you get home at night and you've done so much, you want to make something fast and quick. And I think that kind of dish is perfect. That's my specialty. It's anything in the fridge, throw it in a pan.
That's mine too. Good, we can cook together. Okay, so let's keep going on a cranachan. Wait,
right.
I knew I was going to forget how to say it.
Cranachan. Yes.
Cranachan. Okay, cranachan.
Cranachan. Yes.
Okay, so next step is what? We have to start layering, or is this the whip?
I would say we probably have to whip, right?
All right, let's whip.
Oh God. Okay.
I actually got one just in case my whipped cream turned out horrible. But I did what I think I've learned from some chefs in the past, and I chilled the little beaters to make sure that.
I have a confession with mine.
Okay.
I've got a whisk. I wanted to try something for anyone that's vegan. So I thought I might try coconut milk. So I have chilled coconut milk, and apparently it does whip up the same. It's very thick, so I'm going to give it a go. And it's also quite sweet. That would be so
good for me because I can't eat this. Dairy's not my thing. I don't do it. Right. And but I was going to make it because my kids will love it. But yes, please tell me how that goes. Let's do it together.
Okay, let's go. Here you go. Oh God, it's very thick. But I'm doing this with my hand as well. So talk amongst yourselves.
No, we'll keep working. Believe me, we've got questions coming from people. I know we do, and I'll get to one of those since there are so many.
You go ahead.
Yeah, but you keep whipping. When did you, Sam, this is a good one. When did you know that you wanted to become an actor? Because if you were growing up more rural and just wondering here, Peyton.
When did I know? I guess when I moved to Edinburgh I started going to the theatre there. I started watching productions and I really fell in love with theatre, and I think that's where the passion for acting came. And I think being on television or in movies wasn't really the sort of the goal, but it's been an amazing journey, and I feel very lucky that I've been able to be part of it. And actually, theatres in Scotland, especially all around the world, I guess they're really struggling right now, because of social distancing, and so I'm trying to help support them as well.
Well,
I've got it all over my hand already.
We are so glad that you did choose that. This is a good one. I think a lot of people might ask this since we're using this in this dish. What is the difference between whiskey and Scotch whiskey?
Well, Scottish whiskey obviously comes from Scotland. It has to have that name, Scottish whiskey. You have different kinds of whiskey.
Scotch?
Well, it's also made with malted barley, which obviously in America you have corn whiskey, so the different kind of grain whiskeys. So most traditionally malt whiskey is like the most popular and the most, I guess, Scottish of those whiskeys. But yeah, there are many different varieties using different grains. So if it says Scotch whiskey, it means it comes from Scotland. It's been produced in Scotland and tastes delicious.
Yeah. Well, and
I feel like you're cheating here.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure that you make sure people understand that flavor in your face really shows it. Ooh, how's your whipping?
Well, it's pretty thick actually. I wouldn't say it's going to be like yours. It's not going to be like, you know, very. It's very thick.
Yeah. Yeah,
yours looks a lot thinner, but it doesn't look too bad.
Okay. So I have. While you keep whipping, if that's all right, I'm just going to do another question because this is so nice to have access to Sam Heughan, right?
I'll try and think of an answer. I'm sweating.
Wait, I love this. I love this. Why are your eyes so nice, like diamonds? That's my favorite one so far.
Oh, that's lovely. Who's that? Polina. Thank you, Polina. It's called a circle light, and it's you can get them very cheap, and yeah, they make you look like you're awake when you really aren't.
This one's a good one. So I picture Graham kind of similar to Dougal. Is he similar to Dougal, or what's the difference?
Graham is a lot like Dougal for a short space of time, and then he will demand a cafe latte and a comfy chair and a snack. I think Graham likes playing, you know, tough men, and he is a very, very fit man, but. Yeah, with the other side of him, and he's a total lovey, and he's a lot of fun. That's why I try to torment him as much as possible in Men in Kilts. And but he's also a great historian. He knows a lot about Scottish history, and actually, was a great companion on Men in Kilts to go around and really explore, the Scotland that we thought we knew, but also didn't really know, nearly enough.
And that's the beauty, is that through this show, we're all, oh, look at that. Hold on. Yours looks better than mine.
That's it.
That looks so good. It
smells great.
Sam, you got your elbow in there and really worked. Thank you.
It's also all over my jacket and jeans. And... Okay, so.
Let's move on.
It tastes good. I like it.
Good.
So, what's next?
Next is berries. We have to smash berries.
We smash berries. Let's smash berries.
So smashing berries, and this is where we add the sugar and the honey. I think I might just do honey.
I am the same.
Okay. I'm gonna take a little liberty here on the recipe.
I'm also not gonna measure them. I'm just gonna throw them in.
No, me too. Yeah. Wow, look at us. We're pros already at this.
I'm doing a good amount, a healthy amount. I've got some Scottish blossom honey here, which actually it looks like it comes from near where I was born, but we have great honey in Scotland as well. Obviously, they have heather honey as well, which is amazing. So the bees pollinate the heather, which tastes delicious. And it does taste slightly different as well.
Oh, I'm
salivating. It's so good.
I did a whole series called Food Forecast, and I learned about the terroir of honey, about how different each, when they pollinate for, you would never want a pollinator on almonds to give you honey. It just wouldn't be good, or it wouldn't work. And so having the blueberry honey or having the peach honey is so interesting, and I loved learning about it. Okay, and this said
that's fascinating.
To not crush very much, so I just kind of did a
We're not making jam. Yes,
no.
I'll go for I might crush mine a little more.
Okay.
And this is where you put in the sugar, right?
Yes. You'd also put the sugar if you wanted some extra sweet, but I feel like we've got enough sweet going.
We're sweet enough. Yeah.
I like this question. Is there a character that you would like to play in the future that you haven't played, whether in theater or in film?
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah. I mean, I talked about doing more theater, and I love Macbeth. And actually, in the show in Men in Kilts, we do visit some interesting places that are maybe connected to the history or the story of Macbeth, whether it's true or not. There's a lot of like superstition and dark tales that are obviously Shakespeare used in Macbeth, you know, the witchcraft, which obviously is a big part of Scottish history as well. So yeah, we explore all those things. So I think Macbeth would be one of them. I actually have played Malcolm in Macbeth.
Oh, so you've already done it.
Yeah.
We just didn't.
So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Are those videos anywhere to be found, by the way? If somebody, your old
I don't
theater?
know. I don't think so. No, I don't think they recorded them. Thankfully. Yeah. I feel like we should put, where do we put the honey? Does that go in the...
The honey goes in the berries as well.
Ah, okay,
I think, yeah. Pour it on the bunny. I like this one while we get this last honey spot in the berries. Someone asked, did you do research into the clans before filming Outlander, or have you learned a lot more since it for Men in Kilts?
That's another good question. Yeah, well, I did do some research definitely into clans and into, you know, the historical side, because, you know, Diana Gabaldon is an amazing writer, and she incorporates a lot of historical stuff into Outlander. But, you know, Clanlands was definitely, you know, a bit of a deeper dive into the actual the moments that happened, the Battle of Culloden, you know, the Tartans, the culture there, the clan system. But also it's a look at, I guess also look at sort of Scotland, you know, outside of the traditional that we know. You know, we look at food, we look at seafood, you know, we go visit great chefs, and it's just trying to show, you know, Scotland, there's another side to it as well, and a side that people don't know so much.
So I just realized, you're all done, buddy. You can come over here. Sorry, my son's done with class now.
Good.
In our whipped cream, we were supposed to add some whiskey while whipping.
Let's do that.
Bye, Miss Gianna. Okay. You can come over here and help me, buddy.
How much whiskey?
I feel like that's to our discretion as well, right?
Enough to loosen it up, right? Or loosen yourself up.
Sure. Wait, I have a question, because I got this. This was so nice from your PR folks after I came to Scotland and did that whole Outlander. Can you see the bottle?
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you, I love a Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
This is really harsh.
Is it?
This one
the
is
color's very dark. What is the cask? Has it been left in a cask, particular cask?
Bottled and released in small batches with no chill filtration. First fill Oloroso sherry cask.
Oloroso, so it's a sherry cask. Yeah, it'll be quite sweet.
Bottled at cask strength.
Oh, that's why. So it'll probably be around 50% or more. It could be.
It's 61.3.
Wow, so that's pretty strong. So you might want to water that down a little, but if you do, it'll like release the flavor. I think the Sassenach we do at 46%, which is just a little stronger, but that's actually really helped. It's loosened it up a lot more. Yeah.
Okay, and I put honey in there too, because she asked to put just a touch of honey. Buddy, I'm just doing this. Look, this is the. So do you remember cooking with your mom? Because I have the kids in here pretty often.
Yeah, I do actually. It's always been you know, as a kid, you love getting your fingers in the bowl and doing the mixing, and yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, making cakes, making bread, and it certainly, you know, I learned a lot of, I guess, cooking skills from my mom, and I think that's, you know, you do, don't you? You learn from your parents, and so I think your son is very, very lucky. He's gonna be making boozy desserts the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life. And mommy loves a good whiskey, right? Yep. Do that. Okay. So in the next step, I think this is the assemble. I think we've made it.
It is great. Okay.
So I believe what do we start with? What do we do here?
I think we go. Should we go with some whiskey oats at the bottom? Or
yeah, that feels right.
Maybe a little layer.
Okay. I'm making 2.
Oh.
This is a Scottish dessert.
Okay.
Remember when Mommy went to Scotland?
Oh,
and I stood by the big rocks? Yeah. Okay, you want to go upstairs? Daddy will be right
Okay.
Okay, so those are in the base.
I'm doing the base. How about a layer of our raspberries?
The raspberry honey.
Oh,
it's perfect. And now this would obviously be dessert. Are there any traditions in Scotland that I don't know? Like, is dessert, you know, do you wait? Like, I know in the Netherlands, my family's all in Rotterdam, and they are very big into custard and yogurt, and they do it right, like, as the meal is over with. And it's not very sweet. They don't do a lot of sweet desserts, but they are very much like it's part of the meal, versus like my Italian family, they eat all day. And then, you know, in little bits, and they talk for 3 hours, and then they come back and they have dessert. Is there a Scottish tradition with dessert?
I wouldn't say, you know, I think, you know, Europeans probably get it right, but it's Scots, you know, it's normally, especially like this kind of dessert, we'll probably have like a celebration, maybe a ceilidh, you know, which is the big Scottish dance, you know, where you dance all night, then you have dinner and probably dance some more. And but yeah, it's normally you know, a pretty lively affair, and of course there's plenty of whiskey involved. You're putting cream in now. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I did. Yeah, so I put the cream. I did the cream after the whiskey oats, and
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a layering.
Oh, this looks good.
Oh, I like this question because I know the answer, and everybody wants to know, do you know when you'll start filming, and how long does it usually take to film a season of Outlander? I'll say I learned you all film for a very long time compared to other shows. That's for sure.
Yeah, we do. You know, it is such a big show, Outlander. It's, you know, there's a lot of set pieces. It is challenging to shoot in Scotland with the locations, you know, and obviously, you know, we have, you know, vast numbers of extras and horses and amazing locations. So yeah, it does take a little longer than I guess other shows do. Currently, you know, we are scheduled to start this fall, but again, you know, I guess we just have to wait and see what the situation is. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that, you know, we'll be back before you know it, and I think we're ready to go back. Are you doing another layer?
I did. I'm just going for it. I'm going to go all the way.
Okay, I'm going for it too. I'm going to race you here. Okay, I'm going to do another layer of these.
Because I have a little bit left of the raspberries, and I want to just really utilize those.
And then I'm going to put some more of these pinhead whiskey oats. This is pretty boozy. I like it.
Yeah,
my kind of dessert.
This one may not be for my children, but although I will say they both have, because I do like to sip whiskey, I sip tequila, I sip things, and they both kind of had a little taste for all of it. I don't know if that's good, but they've learned, and I'm hoping that is also a little more European. I would think they could,
I think
you know, when they're used to it.
I think it's about creating a stigma around it, and then hopefully, you know, there's a sort of you know, adult approach towards it. I think it could be a good thing. Yeah.
Well,
having said that, don't judge me on my skills here. Oh wow, that's great. Okay, I'm doing my final layer here.
This is a good one, because during this time, have you kept in touch with, I'm sure with Graham, obviously you have, because we all talked, with your other co-stars and your producers? And
very much so. You know, I think Outlander is such an incredible show in that there's a really firm bond that's been formed between the actors, and you know, like one of the reasons I wanted to do Men in Kilts really was that, you know, I've become really good friends with Graham, and yeah, we've all kept in contact. We all talk a lot. We've hung out a bit when we're allowed to and when we can. Yeah, and I think I miss those guys. You know, they become family now as well, and the crew as well. You know, has to be said.
You know, as Jamie Fraser, he is such a good man. Like the base of him is just that thing that you want in every human being. I like this question because you did a 180 playing a villain in Bloodshot. How'd it feel?
That's true. Yeah. It was out. Obviously, it was released during the beginning of the COVID lockdown, which was, you know, it was a really difficult time for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But thankfully, you know, it's now available to watch online, and yeah, it was fun. It's with Vin Diesel, and I play a bad guy, and so different, but so liberating as well, because you know, Jamie Fraser is such a good guy, so it was fun to flex that sadistic side of me.
We all have it. Jamie Fraser has to, but he just keeps being perfect,
like a fine cranachan. Do we need to put
look at Sam Heughan.
Do we not put some toasted oats on top?
Yep, I did a little bit. I might.
Oh, you did?
More.
Oh, God, I'm way behind you.
Okay, I like this as we do this. I think this is great. And Graham mentioned it when we were speaking and talking about Men in Kilts. He said Jamie and Sam both have kind of a light around them. He says Sam Heughan is just an angel. And he's like, I don't want him to be. And one of my favorite things is when you guys were in the RV, he said that you would wake up even after you both had a long night, and you'd be like, come on, man, let's go.
That's very sweet. He's a very good liar. He's a very good liar.
How would you keep that positive mental attitude? Candace is asking, and I think that's a great question, especially right now.
I don't know. I think probably it's quite a rather irritating for Graham, but no, I think to be honest, I was so excited to do Men in Kilts. It was something that I've been working on for a long time, and the Scottish landscape inspires me. The people do the stories and the music, and I was just so happy to get out there in the mountains and explore and meet new characters and talk to people. So that kind of keeps me going. And to be honest, the sort of the prospect of winding up Graham and putting him in uncomfortable situations is also, it's a great motivator.
That got you out of the RV bed pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, should we do a taste?
Oh, we're going to do it. This is fantastic.
And do we do do we Slàinte with these, right? They have enough whiskey to do that.
They definitely have plenty of whiskey. I kind of almost don't want to eat. Here we go.
I know, it's so pretty. Me too. And I really want to get to those whiskey oats because that's the part I'm most excited about. Whoa. I like her. Yep. I'm happy.
The oats with the whiskey are really good. They sort of hit you. I wonder what it would be like with a smoky whiskey as well, an Islay whiskey.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would do.
But the nuttiness sticks through. I love that. This may become part of my rotation. And
I feel the coconut really works too.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna that's the only bite I can take, or else it won't be good. Brando, can you back off, please? Because my dog's gonna come and knock everything over, I'm sure, because I couldn't have one more thing go on.
Ooh.
I have kept you for plenty of time, and I know you are still, even in isolation, incredibly busy. So I want to thank you, Sam Heughan, for doing this. People just, the comments and the questions, there's so many. Like, we do these often, but people really want to get to know you. And I have to say thank you for being who you are, because not as many people are as open, and they aren't as, open to doing this. So appreciate it, because this is why you are you, and everybody loves you for it. Cannot wait to see Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham. Stars app, stars, we know it's soon, right? That's what we can say.
That's right. We're hoping, by the end of this year, and we'll know more as things continue. But we're really excited as well. It's so fun. You guys going to come on a road trip with us. You're welcome anytime in our RV. There's not much space, and I do most of the driving. But you're welcome. I'll bring plenty of whiskey and boozy desserts.
Thank you so much, Sam Heughan. Appreciate you. Everybody, have a wonderful day. And don't forget, I'm also cooking with Graham this afternoon. You know what? I will get one more thing from you. What do you want me to say to Graham later? You got something for him that you want me to? Oh,
just tell him not to burn it. And to be honest, he doesn't cook for himself. He never cooks for himself. He gets someone else to do it for him. Ask him about Duncan Lacroix and how many times Duncan's cooked for him.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Sam. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ginger. Take care. Thanks, everybody.